Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Sydney, and right now you're sitting in my spice cabinet. Right now I should probably introduce myself. I am now a second year at UC Berkeley. I was studying physics last year. I'm now trying to switch into mechanical engineering. I'm still waiting for confirmation emails and stuff, but that's in the works. So that's kind of like where we stand. I'm definitely in STEM kid universe. But today I figured I would do a video that nobody's asked for, but I see on the internet, which is how I got into UC Berkeley. What are my stats? What essays did I write? I'm not going to tell you what I wrote, but I'll tell you the essays, the questions that I chose, and like if I can remember like what topics I generally covered. And yeah, so I guess we'll start off with my SAT. I only took it once because I told my mom that if I got above a 1400 in the first try, I refused to take it again. And I did. I got a 1470 first try. I got a 780 on the math portion, which means I got a 690 on the reading portion, which is not great. But it was above 1400 and the stubborn kid that I was, did not want to take it again. And so I didn't, and it did me just fine. And then my essay that I wrote with it, I got a 757, and I believe the 5 is on the analysis, but if you just go and look like the order of which, like it's a 757, like whatever the middle category is, that's the one I got a 5 in. And I believe that those categories are each out of 8, I think. And then, yeah, I think that's about it for the SAT. I only took it once. I did not take the ACT. That's kind of it for my like big standardized tests. What I do to study for it, I took a practice test. I took the reading part of a practice test every Sunday for a month before I took it, and YOLO'd the rest of it, and it went better than expected, so I'm not complaining, but that's what happened. And then let's see, APs. The ones that I took were Euro, Calc AB, Physics 1, APUSH, AP Lang, BC Calc, CSA, Lit, and Bio. So I took 9. And contrary to what you see in a bunch of other scores videos, I got equal amounts of 3s, 4s, and 5s. I got 3 of each. You don't need perfect scores to get into Berkeley. You just don't. Yeah, there's no other way to put it. I studied for all of them, I think, mostly. But yeah, 3s, 4s, and 5s. I passed all of them, not with flying colors, but passed them, so that's what matters. I'll give you a hint. History is not my strongest subject. So there's that. And then in terms of the, what do they call them? Like free response questions? No, that's FRQs and AP tests. What is it called? The essay things that you have to write. I answered the creativity one, which I wrote about sewing and stilt walking, which I used to do, which is kind of fun. And I kind of like mixed those two and then spun it in a way that showed like process and like I kind of wrote like my sewing and stuff to have like an engineering take, which is basically just to say like trial and error, trying stuff out, like mocking things up, whatever. I like did that kind of thing. And then my second one I did on what's the biggest obstacle or challenge you faced, which for me was a really obvious one because I have a severe hearing loss and I was born with like a physical condition that basically I had very small ears that didn't have an ear canal, and so I just couldn't hear for a while. And so that was what I wrote about in terms of challenge, because I had like a whole surgical journey with that, and like that was that essay. And then I think I wrote about like why I'd be a strong candidate. I don't remember exactly what I wrote for that. I think I probably just wrote something about like helping people in a classroom setting or something like that. And then for talent skill, I wrote about time management, which is like super not like the kind of talent or skill that I think a lot of people think of, but I don't know, it's one that I came up with and I was like, I'm pretty good at it. And I kind of folded in, like, I had a weird obsession with like watches in junior year, which was kind of like strange for a teenage girl to be into, but like I was into like mechanical hand, like automatic watches and stuff. But so I kind of wrote about that, and you know, I wrote about time management and, you know, that whole situation. So I think that kind of covers a lot of my application. And then this is kind of like, I don't even know what to call this last category. Basically, this is I've written on my iPad, you don't have to do everything at the top of it, where basically I'm just gonna tell you, you don't need to do everything to get into a school like Berkeley. For example, a lot of people just think you have to do all of the APs that are available. You don't. I didn't take honors or AP Spanish. In fact, I only took the minimum amount of Spanish I had to take in order to like get into a university, or to not have to do Spanish at the university level, which is 3 years. And so I took 1 year in 8th grade and then freshman and sophomore year, and then I stopped taking Spanish. Kind of regret it, but like, you know, I didn't have time to do it. I didn't take AP Chem. I just chose to take honors because it was a new program at our school that year and I didn't feel like taking the risk in sophomore year, having never taken Chem in my life before. I took regular Gov-Econ, which I have zero excuse for, except that I didn't want to do paperwork to petition for 5 APs in senior year. So, you know, I give myself that credit. I wouldn't have changed it. I didn't mind not doing Gov-Econ as APs, but, you know, so I did take regular Gov-Econ, which I do know that I should take government and econ classes. So I'm working on that. And then I also figured that I should note that I didn't do any like STEM related extracurriculars. Like, you'll hear a lot of people be like, oh yeah, I was in like robotics club, I was in like this, that, and the other club that made things. I tinker on my dad's cars, and that, like, I did none of that. Like, I have zero like STEM background. What do? I sew sometimes when I feel like it. I taught myself the ukulele. Also has nothing to do with that. What else do I do with my time? I work. What else do I do with my time? I cook. I like to cook. I like to bake. Yeah, so I do stuff. I did cross country for 3 years. Wasn't very good at it, but I did it. Anyway, so I did things. I didn't do STEM things, but I did things, kind of. I didn't do anything that's like quantitative. I didn't like, you know, I wasn't the kind of kid that got awards or anything. But you know, I didn't mind. I really didn't care that much at all. I didn't like start my own business. I didn't solve cancer. I'm just telling you that you don't have to do everything. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do your best, and that's it. Let's see. I will note that I did get straight A's throughout high school, which includes A minuses, because at my school they didn't do like, if you like any range, they just ended up being like, if you got an A minus, it was an A. If you got an A plus, it was an A. It was just like straight A's, straight B's, straight C's. So, you know, do with that with what you will. But so my GPA ended up being like as high as whatever my APs allowed it to be. But like, other than that, like, you know, you don't have to be that stressed. I mean, you know, college is always a crapshoot anyways. But I'm here to tell you that people like me who don't have crazy accomplishments at the ripe old age of like, how old are you when you apply? Like 17? By the time you're 17, you don't have to freaking have solved the world. You just have to have shown that you have potential, and that's all they're looking for. And yeah, that's really it. Like, I'm a good student. I'm not like I'm not a freaking math prodigy. I would say that I'm relatively well-rounded, yet I do skew STEM. But, you know, they accept people of all range of goodness of subject. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say. If you have any other questions about, you know, how I got into the school that I got into, please let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, that's it. Bye.